Imagine being born in the early 2000s, and now you enter adulthood in a world where inflation is out of control, a housing shortage is spiraling worse and worse, and seemingly everything is commodified. Imagine a world where the six-figure gold standard is on the lower end of middle class unless you live in a town with more cows than people. It's a challenging prospect, and the chances are it's only going to get worse. We've already lost 50% of our buying power since the global financial crisis in 2007, and no one seems able to stop this trend. But I'm going to tell you a secret. Good decision-making skills are more important than a high salary. And in this video, I've decided to make some money, and I want to show you how to do the same. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mikey Millions, and this is the Freeloader Challenge series. My goal is to earn enough money from side hustles to purchase a crack house as an investment property. And of course, I want to break down the method so simply that an Australopithecus can do it. As of the end of the last episode, I stood at $76,360 freeloaded, and each month, this number climbs higher as I work toward that crack house goal. I've started talking to a realtor I was friends with back in the day, and we're waiting for something to open up in the neighborhood that I've targeted. We used to do keg stands together, and soon, we'll do one in the crack house. Let's finish off this recap and head to the freeloader streets to capture some bag. First up, we're going to manage the stock portfolio. And I know, Mikey, this is risky, this isn't freeloading. And that's true, especially if you're bad at trading. But the entire time I've been doing the challenge, I have not lost money once because I use the most OP strategy in existence. So sniff a line and let me tell you how short strangles are the right way to trade. Cracking open Moomoo on February 3rd, the portfolio sits at just under $33,000, all of which is from previous Freeloader Challenge episodes, including the value of 15 free shares from Moomoo for my initial deposit. Now they're doing 30 if you use my referrals. This is a good opportunity to take advantage. Of my $33,000 balance, over $26,000 is held in cash, where I earn 4.1% APY. Pausing at my positions, you can see 28 shares of QQM, some SGov, which is a treasury bond ETF, and some UWMC shares. The big position is the SPY short strangle, which I opened in the last episode. The VIX volatility index had spiked to about 20, which is my trading signal. I sold a call and put in the last episode, and now today, the morning of February 3rd, I'm up $346, or about 58%. Above 50% gains means it's time to close. So let's buy to close, and I'll pay the remaining premium to close out, leaving me with the $346 gain. This was another easy gain because short strangles are so OP. I invite you to watch my tutorial video, but if you're not that patient, then I still have good news. Over the weekend, President Cheeto placed tariffs on Mexico and Canada, who have since counter-dunked with their own tariffs. Understandably, this is causing a ruckus in the market, and SPY is down over $9 to about $5.93. VIX, in response to people spam buying puts, is at almost 19. This is the perfect opportunity to open another short strangle. So let's do it live and I'll walk you through the steps. To open a short strangle, I'm first going to search for the ETF SPY, and then I'll select options. This will bring up the SPY options chain. I like to trade with 60 days to expiration. Today's February 3rd, so I'd aim for April 3rd, but there is no such expiration. So I'll do a more classic 45-day to expiration trade and sell the March 21st expiration. VIX being about 19 indicates that people are spending more money than usual on calls and puts, which drives up the prices. I should be able to sell the 16 delta strikes for a good chunk. I'll sell the put side first and look around for a round number close to the 16 delta. That's the $555 strike. So I'll sell the 555 put for about $365. I'll do the same thing on the call side, and I'll find the 16 delta call at 622. I've got to make sure I'm selling both the call and put. And there is my profit and loss chart. I'll collect about $600 premium for this trade, and my break-evens are about $629 and $549. I'll enter a sell order at $592 to make sure that I get a fill. And right away, somebody bought the options from me. Looking at my portfolio now, you can see the old strangle down the bottom with 0 contracts, and just above it is my new short strangle. Since I sold to open at $592, I'll be looking to take gains at 50%, which is $291. That's all there is to it, and I know that does sound like a lot. I'm considering splitting these trades off into a new 3K challenge series rather than keeping it in Freeloader. Let me know if that's something that you'd like. And of course, you can join my free Discord where I'm always available to help with your trading and freeloading journey. Trading aside, this is the Freeloader Challenge. And you'd better believe that I'm also on Moomoo to take their free stuff. Moomoo often does these paper trade competition events. This month is an options competition. I'm in 359th place with a 10% return. The big winners get things like MacBooks and iPhones, but these winners are going to be people who got lucky with a 10,000% biotech stock. I'm instead just competing for the $6,600 prize pool down the bottom. Anyone with a 5% return will get a piece of the pie. My approach was just to get lucky on a quick SPY and Tesla flip. I got my 10% gain and I closed everything. Now I'm just waiting for my payout on February 7th. Since I'm above 5% total gain, I'm in the clear. Beyond the paper trading events, you should always be doing the Moomoo points. You get points for logging in and reading their articles. Now I'm over 21,000 points. I'm going to cash these in. You can get merch if you really want to, but the much better use of points is for vouchers against your share purchases. You can choose several denominations, but the best value ratio is the $10 voucher. If you read the fine print, you can see that you have to buy the stock at full price, and then after the trade settles, you get the voucher value as cash back. I'm going to cash in for the $10 voucher. To apply these vouchers, all you have to do is buy the stock. The nearest expiration will be applied first. I'm going to use my strangle gain to buy a share of QQM, and this $10 coupon will give me $10 back later, so effectively a discount. Then I'm going to use these other two vouchers on shares of UWMC. This is some kind of mortgage REIT. It's less than $6, so I'm effectively getting $5 out of $6 back once the trade settles. These shares aren't quite free, but they're very close. And that's Moomoo for you. The platform often does these free share promotions, so if you want to hop on, make sure you're grabbing as many free shares as possible with your first deposit. Use my referral to get the best reward, and I also appreciate you supporting the channel. Overall, my gain from options trading this episode is $347 from the short strangle and $20 on discounts on shares. Most of this I used on a share of QQM and 2 shares of UWMC. We'll find out in the next episode how this trade turns out. I want to emphasize up front that there is only one cryptocurrency, and that is Bitcoin. Everything else is nonsense. But with that in mind, you can make money off of nonsense. You just have to sell the nonsense before it falls apart. Now, can I scrape bottom of the barrel and freeload cryptocurrency? Can I find a place where users can hold some token in a wallet and participate in some testnet to receive an airdrop without getting drained? Are there any altcoin faucets still floating around? There's got to be something out there, and I'm diving into the trenches. By randomly flopping around the battlefield, I stumbled upon something called pipe flare, which sounds like an IED, so it should be safe to handle. I see these faucets, which were in vogue back in the day. In the very beginning, you could go to a website and get a free 5 Bitcoin. These days are obviously long gone. Now, it looks like this pipe flare thing has Toncoin, Polygon, and Zcash faucets. If legit, this would be a big deal, but I'm skeptical because these buttons are weird. Something isn't quite right, but let's click. Fuck it, Freeloader. This brings me to a daily rewards thing, which sounds good. This sounds familiar, but what the hell are gems, crystals, skill tree? It looks like you can receive 1 FLR, apparently the flare token, and you can use it for games. I gotta admit, I don't like what I'm seeing. This is uncomfortable, but I'm going to fight through this trench because I'm curious now. I want to claim Polygon, but apparently I missed it by a few months. That could have been good. SHIB is also closed. In fact, the only thing active is this 2 FLR, which appears to be something that they use on a gaming website, and it has a 1.4K market cap. I'm also being redirected to this 2002-esque click game thing on Telegram to earn unspecified tokens. My alarm bells are starting to ring. Something about this doesn't look quite right. It also wants me to use something called Aurora Pass Wallet. I don't know what this is, so I'm not clicking any links. And I'm certainly not going to trust anything that uses a $1,000 market cap coin as its platform token. Maybe someone with a better background in crypto can see if there's any value in these games. Maybe the next Axie Infinity is in here, but I am way too skeptical of this platform to proceed any further. Unless I'm missing something major, I declare pipe flare to be whack, and I have now wasted time in the crypto trenches. Pipe flare aside, I still am of the belief that there must be some value in scraping airdrops, faucets, or anything like that. The only faucets I'm familiar with are the crypto casinos that give out some small amount of money each day. Stake at $1, Lucky Bird at a few cents to $1 and change depending on your VIP, and Yay Casino, which is now 40 cents a day. I like these, but I'm not satisfied. I'll need to revisit crypto trenches later. For now, I'm taking the L. No gain from crypto bottom feeding, but I'll initiate a new offensive once I find some alpha. The next move is a get paid to website called Freecash, which is similar to Swagbucks, where you get paid to sign up to stuff and play games. I'll say this up front, if you play mobile games and you do not get paid for it, then you are wrong. Whatever build your base game you're playing on your phone or desktop, Freecash has it, and you'll get paid while you level up. This was the biggest Freeloader challenge income source before I discovered sweeps casinos, and there is still quite a bit of juice here. We have a channel on Discord called Freeloader Non-Casino, which does a lot of free cash offers, and it's made it much easier to decide which challenges to pursue. If you have never signed up to any sports books or sweeps casinos, free cash would be a really good thing for you. We've got DraftKings paying almost $112 to place a $10 bet. Chime is doing $223 for direct depositing $200. Crypto.com is offering $63 to buy $35 worth of crypto, $12 to watch a video on TikTok. Occasionally, you will also see the sweeps casinos on free cash, but I did not find any this month. I did all those larger ones in the past, so in this episode, I signed up to a couple build your base games, including Stormshot, all of which are basically clones of each other. You play some campaign mode while you turn your camp into a fortress, and then when you level up to certain milestones, free cash via the game publishers pays you. You can certainly just play normally and get your payments, but some of the guys in Discord discovered a trick. A lot of these games will give you the option to make an in-game purchase to get paid by free cash. Often the payment from free cash will exceed the cost of the in-game purchase. This time, I bought a $9.99 pack on Stormshot and got paid $10.92. It's no big deal, right? It's only 93 cents. But there is a second step. If you withdraw your free cash winnings to stake, you get a 30% bonus. So now that's another $3.27. And having these gains will put you on the free cash leaderboard. You'll unlock the bonus ladder, and you get the streak bonus, all of which will add up. If, for example, you bought the Covenant House Charity $20 for $32 on Monday for a $12 gain plus $10 to stake, then did Guiding Eyes for $11 gain plus $10 to stake on Tuesday, and other similar pay-to-win stuff throughout the week, you're going to get some decent returns for doing very little, and you get to support a good cause. The value here, especially on the social casinos, sportsbooks, and crypto exchanges, really add up. And do not sleep on that 30% bonus when withdrawn to stake. That bonus alone can add up to over $50 on top of some of the bigger base offers. Keep in mind, free cash is also available outside the US. It's one of the few freeloader methods that work outside my home country. Use my affiliate link to free cash and you'll also get a bonus box with an extra $5 in it. And I always appreciate when you guys use my referrals. And if for any reason you don't like free cash, there's always Swag Bucks as well, which has similar offers. Comparing offers from both of them is also a good approach. My total gain this month is $19, but I'm going to get better at tackling some of these larger offers through the rest of the challenge. It is insane to me that I signed up to apps like Crypto.com without first checking free cash. I've left money on the table, and I'm not going to make that mistake again. One of the most beloved methods of the Freeloader challenge has been dumpster diving near construction sites. I've fished out all kinds of hardware, mostly construction screws and other such fasteners. For a while, I was also pulling out metals, mostly copper and aluminum, to get paid at the scrapyard. But ultimately, this would work a lot better with a pickup truck, which I do not own, and I'm not going to go out in the dead of winter to fish copper out of dumpsters. That said, if you are one of the construction homies and you have access to metal all the time, this could make a good side hustle. For me, dumpster diving construction sites will resume in the spring so I can get more construction equipment. I'll need it for the Crackhouse. In the meantime, my new move is to dive for food kit rebate codes, in which you can get steep discounts on meals. You can cheese this by making new email addresses for each code you fish out of the trash. Let's check the replay camera so you guys can get the full Mikey Millions immersive experience. Hey guys, we're diving again, and I wanted to show you it's not just a one-off that you can find referral links for cheap food, because right here, I went digging through this HelloFresh box, and there it is. Look. Just sitting right there at the bottom, you know, had some stuff in it that I had to pick through, but it was worth it. And there it is, just more steeply discounted food, something like 75% off. I used one of these codes for myself to get free food except for $15 shipping, and gave the other two away to people on Discord. But of course, you could indeed just have 3 different email addresses and get 3 boxes of food for trivially cheap. If you're on the struggle bus, I recommend scavenging around trash cans to find discarded meal kit boxes. Or you could probably just ask some meal kit Facebook group for the codes that they get in their boxes. It might be easier. But my son Chad needs to become resourceful early, so doing the diving myself is mission essential. Gain here is really a savings of about $120, but my grandmother said that a penny saved is a penny earned, so this is still good sauce. Sweepstakes casinos have been, by far, a fan favorite, and that's for a good reason. If you've somehow been living under a rock, sweepstakes casinos are online platforms where you can receive free daily login rewards, play games like slots, table games, or arcade games, and win what are typically called sweeps coins, which you can redeem for actual US dollars to your bank account. This is, far and away, the most popular aspect of the Freeloader challenge, and it's probably what most of you are watching for. With about 30 sweeps casinos operating, just the daily rewards alone are more than what almost every TikTok dropshipper makes. I look at sweeps casinos as a 3-tiered system. The simplest thing to do is just take your daily login bonus, play it, and redeem your cash. On the plus side, this is literally zero risk, but you're also missing out on a lot. The next level is to buy the non-redeemable gold coins with free sweeps casinos added. Realistically, you want those sweeps coins because that's what's redeemable. And the final stage is to play games specifically to increase your VIP level, which can boost your rewards and give you all kinds of bonuses. The platform Pulse even sent out PS5s to a whole bunch of people on our Discord server. For the novices, just start with that first level of login bonuses, and you'll quickly see why you'll want to engage the platforms further. And of course, we have a whole community on Discord that has a deeper guide on what's happening here. I do want to emphasize some key points because a lot of people were upset in the last episode that I did not share enough sauce. First, I talk about collecting about $30 a day from login bonuses. This does not mean that you will physically move $30 daily into your bank account. All of these casinos have a minimum of usually $10 or $25 in redemptions for gift cards or $50 to $100 for cash. You should expect to stockpile these login bonuses and then withdraw when you reach the minimum. It takes a little while to get the ball rolling, but once it starts rolling, it stays rolling. Again, the easiest one to use is Stake, where you get $1 per day and can withdraw as crypto at around $45 to $50. The next note, you should familiarize yourself with the meaning of RTP, that's return to player. You want to play the games with the highest RTP statistic. Most slots have about 95% RTP, whereas table games like Blackjack and Baccarat have about 99%. That might sound like a small difference, but since you are giving the house about 1% edge versus 5% edge, playing table games means your loss will be about 1/5 as much as if you were playing slots. Since we're playing with house money, our goal is to minimize our loss on our playthrough, not seek big gains, so we should only play slots when we have to. And finally, a word on tax. Yes, you must pay tax on sweeps casinos. This isn't pretend money, it's money, and you have to pay tax. Check your state's law first before you decide to jump in on this. For more depth on sweeps casinos, you'll want to view the overall guide and quick start sheets on Discord. A whole community of players will welcome you with open arms. In terms of the Freeloader challenge, I made the controversial decision to cap my applicable winnings at $5,000 a month. That way, the entire challenge doesn't become Mikey's Casino Adventure. Any additional games are just personal money. $5,000 might sound like a reach, but remember, just signing up and logging into all the platforms daily will bring you about 900 SC per month in free play. At the very minimum, sign up to Stake, get your $1 per day of login bonus, withdraw as your cryptocurrency of choice when you hit the minimum, use gold coins to increase your VIP. If you have the option to use a credit card at Stake, use your imagination as to what cashback can do for you here. In total, I hit my cap of $5,000 from sweepstakes casinos for this episode, so I'll add that to the Freeloader slush fund, and I'll pocket the rest for myself. I invite you to see some of the top sweeps casinos right here in the description. And once again, join the crew on Discord and you'll have a whole community of resources for you. One of the most common side hustle methods is flipping things, just reselling stuff. Sometimes this works if you're particularly knowledgeable about something, but most of the time people fail, and that's because they're doing it wrong. You should not be going to garage sales to buy antique vinyl to then sell on Facebook, unless you really know a lot about antique vinyl. The better approach is to get free stuff and then sell it fast and cheap, undercutting all competition. It sounds simple enough, but how do we pull this off? It's not as hard as you might expect. There are a couple Discord groups out there in which you can connect with agents whose job it is to drive traffic to Amazon. The Amazon vendor refunds you via PayPal to buy a product from them. In doing so, they get credited with a sale. Sometimes, but not always, you'll also need to review the product. We do not have to understand the mechanics behind this. That's outside the scope of the Freeloader's needs. All we're doing is buying the item on Amazon, reviewing it if required, and then getting refunded by the seller. In the past, I've used this plenty of times for things I actually need, like tools, iPhone cases, stuff like that. But the real move is to buy more expensive stuff, get refunded, and then sell. I did this a couple of months ago with a dehumidifier. I hit up my dehumidifier plug and spent about $500 up front to get this equipment. I tested it out to make sure it was good, did my review, and got refunded. Then I posted it for sale at $250. It's a 50% discount, and it was gone within a week, and I pocketed my $250 profit. I previously did this with an electric scooter as well, which is even easier to sell. You usually don't get fully refunded for these bigger gadgets. For example, I had to eat a $75 cost to get this scooter, but it was very easy to get $275 for it, and that's a free $200. Another good move was when I bought copper wire, got refunded, and then sold the copper wire to a construction worker. If I really had trouble selling, I could always scrap it. I do admit that I've been lax in this department because you do have to inventory the goods, and if you don't have a lot of spare space, you can't stack a whole bunch of merch waiting for a buyer. But some of these fast turnover items are easily within reach. My next move is to contact another agent and have a continuous flow of electric bikes and scooters, if I can clear up enough storage space for them. This will require some upfront cost, but the potential return is much higher. There are 2 servers for this that I'll leave in the pins of the Freeloader non-casino channel on Discord. Don't ask for them in the comments, just pull them from Discord. The first group is the OG one. It used to be entirely free, but now the lifetime membership is $20, which is a really good investment. I'm not affiliated with this server or getting paid to say this, I just use it as a customer. The other is totally free, and it was founded by a guy who got banned from the OG server because he spent 4 days shitting up the place. Then he got mad and tried to form his own clone server. It's not quite as comprehensive, but it's a free alternative. I have a pair of warnings here. 1, if you have to do a review, make it an honest review. It should stand to reason that most of these items are made in a Chinese sweatshop. You can get good stuff from a Chinese sweatshop, but it's often a bunch of crap. Don't give a 5-star review to garbage. Just send it back to Amazon for a normal refund. I've done that plenty of times and it's totally fine. And 2, don't do tons of reviews. If you are constantly reviewing many items per month, Amazon will stop your account from doing reviews. I've limited myself to 2 review items per month and it's been fine. If you want more free items, do the refund on delivery or refund on rating items only. For this episode, I received a box of assorted iPhone chargers, a picnic basket, work gloves, and some kids' toys. None of these required a review, but of course the resale market for these items is almost non-existent. Going forward, I'm looking to link up with an electric scooter plug, which will translate into revenue. And of course, get in on this through the links in Discord. Total gains this episode is $5,386, the vast majority of which was from sweeps casinos. I've also got some help from the ETF Triple Q, boosting the value of my stock portfolio. My slush fund, which was $76,360 at the beginning of this episode, now stands at $82,445. The only thing standing in the way of victory now is waiting for the right house to open up. Victory is so close, I can smell it. Next episode, expect to see me go into sportsbooks. There is some magic sauce that I haven't really tapped into yet, and I'm working on the recipe now. And if anyone knows more about bottom feeding crypto, please let me know in the comments. I would legitimately settle for a faucet of shitcoins just to scratch this itch. Don't be shy about joining Discord, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.